I'm J.G. Michael, and this is Parallax Views. I just wanted to cover two more things before I let you go because, first I wanted to say I was really interested in this article you sent me, God and Guns in Pennsylvania, that you wrote for American Freakshow. I love that title, American Freakshow, by the way, because I've often said to people that the first thing that comes to mind when I think of Donald Trump is Carney Barker. You know, he's a P.T. Barnum figure, so American Freakshow fits perfectly. But this...
Thank you very much. And that is exactly what I was thinking when I started it as a joke, really as a vent. After I started it more than a year ago, after I read about Harlan Crow's Nazi table linen collection. Harlan Crow is the big donor to, owner really, timeshare owner of the Supreme Court. He's Clarence Thomas's owner. And I thought, I just read it and I'm like, you know what? These people are freaks and somebody needs to write. I actually tweeted somebody should start a podcast called American Freakshow. And then I read my tweet and I was like, I should do that, but I'm too lazy to podcast. I should write a column called that. And so I created a Substack, and now we're here a year and a half later, and it is exactly that. There is no shortage of them. I thought when the election, if Harris won, I could have just retired it. And now more freaks are pouring into the freak show tent.
Well, it was interesting in reading this God and Guns in Pennsylvania. I did not expect within the first paragraph to be hearing about the Moonies. But they've been involved in right-wing politics for a long time. Maybe you could give a rundown of what you were talking about in this article.
Absolutely. Where are you based? What state are you in? I
used to be based in Pennsylvania. Now I'm in Florida, which is like Trumpville, and it's
perfect. Yes. Okay. So if you were in Pennsylvania, this is in Pike County. There is I assume your listeners and whose son Young Moon is. The
yes.
Moonie. They used to have the mass weddings, and he owns the Washington Times, and he's, a Korean Christian pastor, extreme right-winger. His son is just completely off the rails, decided to start his own sect of a type of Christianity that worships the AR-15 and weapons, literally. They have mass weddings where they put people on, they strap them in. They wear the wedding clothes, but they strap on an AR-15 at the ceremony. And this guy, Pastor Sean Moon, preaches and speaks in public with a crown of bullets and a weapon strapped on him. And every year in this county, I'm pointing because I have a house in New York State, but it's right across the river from me. I'm 2 hours away from New York, by the way. So this is not far from a major metropolitan area, but it's a backwoods. He started his own arms company, and he has a cult that hang out there. And every fall, they have something called the Rod of Iron Festival. And the right-wing Trumpies, hard right ones, showed up there this year. I think they come every year, but this year, you had General Mike Flynn. You had this guy, Ivan Raikin, who's self-described Secretary of Retribution. He really does want to put, Congress people in the guillotine or, hang them. And you had Seb Gorka. I went there on the day that Seb Gorka was speaking because I just think that guy is appalling. And
didn't he wear some pin or insignia recently that was
so he's
Hungarian?
He's Hungarian, but he was raised in the UK, so he's got this plummy British accent, but he's a total fascist, and he wears a pin on his fancy Washington lobbyist looking navy blazer with a nice little white handkerchief sticking out. He wears a pin that's connected to it's the emblem of really this organization called, I can't pronounce it, but it's a Hungarian club or organization that dates back to the pro-Hitler collaborationist government, fascist organization that ran Hungary during the Nazi era. That's who he is. He's like proudly wears this Hungarian Nazi fascist pin. And he was in the first Trump organization, or first Trump administration, as you probably know. He was fired for shoving a reporter, I think, on Capitol Hill and using anti-Semitic terminology. And I mean, that's what he is. And I retweeted that article, the God and Guns in Pennsylvania, because I wrote it. I listened to him speak. I went to this crazy event, wrote the piece, God and Guns in Pennsylvania. And then after 2 days ago, when Trump announced that he was nominating Gorka for a minor role in the cabinet, but still a role that has to do with terrorism, I think, because he's a total Islamophobe. I retweeted it, and people were passing it around, and somebody responded to the tweet, oh, and doesn't he own shares in the company that Pastor Moon, the firearms company? So I Googled it just today, and I find not only is he like associated with the company, they literally sell a limited edition Gorka weapon, which I tweeted a picture of it today.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a gun that says America First engraved into the side of it. And yeah, so they're selling now. At the event, Pastor Moon introduced him with his crown of bullets on. He introduced Gorka, and Gorka, basically gave like a campaign pitch for Trump, where he was trying to get these people in their, hoodies, and older white people mostly with, I say hobnailed boots, but like pretty scruffy people. And he's this plummy British accent, and he's trying to talk them into going door to door in Pennsylvania because it was so key that they needed to get out and get their man elected. So he was really there doing this campaign pitch, and they had these gun nuts all in one place. And I don't know obviously Pennsylvania tipped it to Trump. But anyway, that's who he is, and I guess we're going to see more of him in the coming months and years until he does something outrageous. And I don't know. Maybe this round, shoving a reporter won't be enough to get fired from a Trump administration.